Hi everyone, this is Anastasia Khortsova, your favorite Chicago realtor, and today we're going to talk about 5 tips if you want to sell your house in 2024. Tip number 1, try to list in the spring. I know you have heard it a million times, but it is what it is. Chicago real estate market is seasonal. We do see the most activity in the spring, and by spring I mean February to May. So if you are looking to get the top dollar for your house and you want to attract as many people as possible, try to list between late February and early May for the most activity. Tip number 2, be smart with pricing. I know I just said that the spring market is going to attract the most eyes on the property and might even start a bidding war. However, you cannot start a bidding war if the place is overpriced. The affordability is at all-time low right now, and it is very hard for buyers to find a place that makes sense for them from a financial standpoint. Every buyer I deal with is way more sensitive. So my best advice to you is when it comes to pricing, do not price over what the fair market value is. Maybe even price a little bit under fair market value in order to attract the majority of the people. And also be smart about pricing on the pricing bridges, so to say. So what I mean by that, if your place is worth, let's say the fair market value is $360, maybe list it at $350, because this way you will attract everybody who is searching for places up to $350, and then everyone who is searching from, $300 and higher. It will just bring more people to your property. And oftentimes what I find with buyers is they think that they want to spend $350, but in reality, if a good place comes on the market, they're willing to pay a little bit more if they feel like it's worth it. Tip number 3, hire a good real estate agent. A good real estate agent comes with a lot of expertise and knowledge of the market, experience of working with both sellers and buyers. We have seen many different things happen over, every transaction. And on top of just dealing with buyers and sellers all the time and being able to provide that guidance to you, because chances are we have been in a situation you might be in. You are most likely selling only one property at a time, one property every, 5, 7, 10 years, right? We deal with multiples every month. So if anything, a good real estate agent can always guide you on the right course of action in every particular situation. And on top of it, we do come with our resources. And by resources, I mean, for instance, here at the Ben Lawless team, we have our in-house marketing team that takes care of photos, videos, 3D walkthroughs and the floor plan, all those things. We control the quality of that and the turnaround time here in-house, which allows us to make any changes if needed. And that is no cost to you, no additional cost to you. That's included in our commission. On top of it, a good real estate agent will always keep an open line of communication with you and will notify you of any changes on the market, whether those are bad things or good things. Sometimes the market is responsive to many things. So if something happens, we might think that it will go one way, but then something happens, some news come out, and it might react completely differently the next day. So we make sure to keep that good open line of communication and provide you with feedback and provide you with any updates that are necessary, in our opinion, to put your property in the best position in order to sell it as quickly as possible. Tip number 4, try to provide as much details on everything in the property as possible. So what I mean by that is if you have done any updates to your property, no matter how big or small, record them somewhere. Make sure you keep them as a note in your phone or in a notebook, or just record it somewhere. Make sure you know when you replace the furnace, the AC condenser, how old is the fridge, when did you do the bathroom renovation if you did it. Or if you have not done any updates to your property, that's fine. Try to remember what were the latest updates from the time that you purchased, so from the previous owners, and make sure to list them as well. Because when I work with buyers see a lot of value in places that owners have taken care of. So if by listing all these updates and all the dates, they might not be necessarily from last year, they might be from 5 years ago. But if people see that you have been constantly updating the place, maintaining the place, investing into the place, they will be willing to give you more money for that place. So make sure to keep detailed notes with the dates and updates that you've done to the property. Tip number 5, make sure you utilize the private listing channels. Private listing channels are channels that have limited access. So consumers typically don't have access to those channels, or in order to have that access, they need to be affiliated with an agent. When a buyer is affiliated with an agent, it means that they are a more serious buyer. They're not just looky-loo, just searching on Zillow and just going to open houses for fun. So private listing channels, we have access to a few. The first and foremost is PLN, Private Listing Network. It is a part of the MLS, and we as brokers have access to it, and we can set up our clients on a search. So the benefits of going on the PLN before listing publicly is you get to test the market, you get to test the demand, you get to test your pricing. If you are shooting for that high price, let's list it on the PLN, see if there's demand for that price for that particular product, and then we can go on the public market and see if we can get that. Sometimes we're able to sell properties while they're on the PLN. It really depends on many circumstances. Another good channel that we have access to is called 10 Top Agent Network. It is only available to top 10% of agents in Chicago, and that allows us to test the demand again with the potential buyers, and it allows us to let these top 10% agents know that there's a property coming up, and they might have a buyer who's looking and not seeing what they're looking for, and your property might be the perfect fit for them. Why is it limited to just 10% of agents? Because, if you think of it, about 10% of agents do the majority of business. So that is a really good resource to use in order to test your marketing strategy, in order to test that demand and pricing. Okay, these were my top 5 tips for home sellers who are looking to sell in 2024. If you guys have any questions or want to chat more about your specific situation, your specific property, send me a DM or send me an email. I'll be happy to talk to you.